probably noticed that there is actually no Monkchips here, which is good job, astute viewers. I'm actually Rachel. I'm an analyst at Redmonk, and I am going to be taking over for James for the next few weeks while he is out on vacation. So I am the replacement Monkchips for Monkchips in 3 minutes. And this week we are going to talk about the Olympics, and in particular we are going to talk about the dichotomy between Olympic viewership numbers and the revenue numbers that are associated with them. At a global level, the International Olympic Committee is projecting that they'll have 3.6 billion unique viewers for the games worldwide. This is really impressive. This actually comes out to being about half of the world's population having watched at least some of the Olympics. And comparing that to other major sporting events, just for context, the 2014 FIFA World Cup had viewership numbers at 3.2 billion, and that's not quite apples to apples given that it's a single event for the final versus the multi-week event for the Olympics. And for the US crowd, the 2015 Super Bowl had a TV viewership of just over 111 million, which comes out to about 3% of Olympic viewership. So how do these numbers compare with Olympics in years past? It turns out that the growth from the 2012 Olympics in London to the 2016 Olympics in Rio is fairly negligible, so about the same number of viewers from the past Olympics to this one. While at the same time the amount of available broadcast content increased fairly substantially. There's a 25% increase in the amount of broadcast television events and a 2.5 time increase in digital broadcasts. So the fact that viewership is fairly stagnant when the available content increased is telling. And when you're thinking of that, it's on its own interesting, but at the same time even more interesting based off of the changes in revenue. The International Olympic Committee's revenue increased about 7% from the prior Olympics up to 4.1 billion. And so to have increasing revenue growth and stagnant viewers and increasing supply is a fairly telling story. At the same time, this was NBC's economically most successful Olympics. They sold $1.2 billion in ads, both digital and TV, prior to the Olympics even beginning. And it turns out that that digital and TV combo really is quite telling about the dynamics of what's happening overall. NBC was able to charge 50% more for their online ad inventory than they were for their TV inventory, which is interesting primarily because they were able to reach a different demographic with their digital sales than with their TV sales. The digital demographic tended to skew younger, and it was actually one of the areas in which NBC saw growth. They had a 24% growth rate in the amount of people who were streaming through their app. And so I think this is very telling overall, especially as we start to look into differences in content delivery and platforms. So it's not news that viewers are embracing multiple platforms and shifting their viewing habits. What I think is particularly pertinent to the Olympics is the tape delay. As we live in a social media connected and 24-hour news cycle world, the tape delay in particular is a challenge for viewership because people already know the events that they've happened. So the kind of appeal of the live sports as it is played out for the Super Bowl or for the FIFA World Cup is not the same as for the Olympics for a multi-day event occurring in different time zones. And I think as the 2020 Olympics approach, just 4 short years from now, and they're going to be in Japan with an even greater time zone, it'll be interesting to see how NBC and other broadcasters choose to adopt the multi-channel and multi-platform strategy. Broadcasters have a long way to go before they have truly connected with their audiences on multiple channels and multiple platforms. And I think that we can see viewership trends continuing to slide until distributors are able to figure out how to reach audiences across their networks.